What if I told you that discipline is not what you think it is? And that correction isn't about punishment at all. It's about unlocking your true potential. Now you probably think to yourself, what are you talking about? Well, let's see. In this video, we're going to cover three key things. First, the true meaning of correction, what it is and what it isn't. Then I'll share a personal story that many of you may be able to relate to. And after that, we're going to dive into how correction and the ideology of it has been shaped by the Catholic Church. And we're going to look at some insights from Psychology Today. And finally, we talk about systems of correction and mass incarceration with powerful insights from the Sentencing Project. Have you ever heard the phrase, go get me a switch? Maybe for you, it was a belt. Or maybe it was just that look that put the fear of God in you. But trust me, you knew what came next. I remember it clear as day. Outside our house, we had this bush, and we would call it the switch bush. If you know, you know. And a lot of times when I would get in trouble, my mom would go send me to go grab one. And you know me, I got to be slick. So I always found myself getting the smallest one. I would go back in the house, and my mom would tell me, I would go back in the house, and my mom would tell me, what you doing? I was trying to save my behind, but it would only make it worse every time. And let me sit there long enough while she's sitting there talking to me. She would always say, if I got to go get it, I'm going to get the biggest one I could find. That was never good news. But see, the switch wasn't just about violence. It was about value more than anything. It was my mom's way of saying, the world's going to teach you the rough way if I don't teach you the right way. It was more about accountability than anything. Before the streets could grab us, our people were trying to correct us with love. I know the verse, Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way they should go, and even when they turn old, they will not depart from it. But the truth is, not everybody got that kind of correction. And unfortunately, some of us got it both. Switch at home, and a sense is waiting for them in the streets. See, there's another kind of correction. One that doesn't come from love. It comes from a system. A system designed to break you into pieces, not build you back up, just break you. Right now, over 2 million people in America are locked up. That's a 500% increase in 40 years. 40 years. That's 2 generations. You do the math. But here's the truth. That spike of increase, it didn't come from crime at all. It came from policy. Harsh sentencing, 3 strikes, mandatory minimum. And guess who they affect? Black and brown folks. Every single time. It's like we can't win for lose. Or can we? Y'all know that one song by Tupac. I reminisce on the stress I caused. It was hell. Hugging on my mama from a jail cell. And who knew in elementary? Hey, I see the penitentiary one day. Running from the police, that's right. Mama catch me pull a whip into my backside. That wasn't just a lyric though. That was a moment of reflection. A son who now understood too late of what the corrections cost when it comes from cuffs and not care. As someone of color and someone who grew up in the projects, I've seen correction be used as a weapon, but I've also seen it used like a mirror. Our people corrected us because they knew if they didn't, then the system would. And that system, it doesn't heal people. Nearly 67% of people who get released from prison get rearrested within 3 years. 3 years. That's not rehabilitation. That's just a recycling pain. And that's not even the worst part. Sometimes we have family reunions in jails. I don't know if y'all seen the movie on Netflix. It's called All Day and a Night. But in the movie, it talks about how this man, well, one of the actors was the son of a father who had been incarcerated. And eventually, we get to see the son and the father in the same jail. That's crazy. And the worst thing about this situation is that it's true. It actually happens in real life more than we think. So let's refocus. Correction, right? Let's strip it. What does it mean? Where does it come from? Let's get to the roots. Because when we understand what the word actually means, we can understand what it actually is supposed to do. A philosopher by the name of William Butler Yeats wrote once, "The world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper." What did he mean by that? When correction is done right, it's one of those things that make our senses grow sharper when done in the right way. It doesn't just change behavior, it realigns your life. It's almost like a compass calling you back to purpose. So let's visit scripture for a moment. So we go visit 2 Timothy 3:16. And it says, all scripture is God-breathed and is useful for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training in righteousness. Notice that. Correction is not isolated. Notice that. Correction isn't isolated, but it walks with teaching, rebuking, and training. It's part of a divine process. It's not supposed to be condemnation. It's transformation. We changing lives out here. And the word correction itself, it tells a powerful story when you break it down. So stay with me. We go to the Greek now. This one a little hard. Epanarthesis, which literally means a restoration of an upright state, which means it once was upright. So it's just restoring what was already upright. We're not talking about cruel or unusual punishment. We're talking about restoration and realignment. These are the two things that you need for correction. Mike Tyson said a quote as well. He said, "Discipline is doing what you hate as you love it." Now, that's not just a modern quote, it echoes an ancient wisdom. The truth is, correction at its best isn't about cruelty or shame, it's all about alignment. It's about that love that guides you, that takes your hand and walks with you, not the kind of guilt that just leaves you sitting on a log high and dry. But listen, the way correction is given, whether it roots you or it ruins you, it depends on two things. Was it born from fear or from love? Love is 4 letters. Fear is also. Same size, just a different spirit. But look, both shape how we move, both shape how we learn, but only one connects. So that means the other one controls. See, even the Catholic Church knew this. They say, "Give me a child to the age of 7, and I will show you the man he will become." Because they understood that formation starts early, like a child in the womb. Before the baby can come out physically, the baby first has to go through a fertilization process. That's where the baby is inside the womb and God is adding the features. But let's get back to formation. I got off track. Formation starts early, not just spiritually, but physically and mentally. Formation starts early, not just physically, but psychologically and spiritually. According to Psychology Today, the discipline we experience in childhood doesn't just influence our behavior. It literally shapes our identity, our voices. It literally shapes our identity, our voices, and our sense of worth. If your correction came with love, you grew. But if your correction came with shame, you hid. If you could just hit that like button for me, and if you're really feeling it, hit the subscribe button and join the family. All right, let's get back to it. So here's the real question. Did your switch teach you to respect or to shrink? Was your correction spiritual or was it survival? Because today, the switch doesn't just hang on trees anymore. It hangs in the silence, in the scrolls, and in the systems. It's emotional distance disguised as discipline. But what if we could switch again, not to pain, but to purpose? That kind of correction that heals you. It doesn't sound like yelling and shouting all day. It sounds like presence, emotional connection, and consistency. It feels like love, even when it's hard to give. So the next time you hear the word correction, don't just think about what hurt you. Think about what could heal you. Correction isn't control, it's connection. And when rooted in love, it doesn't just prepare us for the world, it prepares us to change it. So as we come to a close, I want you to put in the comment section, what switch did you grow up with? And what are you switching today? Because truth, it doesn't just change things, it corrects them. So make sure to share this video, repost, and as always, continue to find your why and walk in truth. Too true.